Hi everyone, it's James here from TSR Jivey Talks Tech, and as they say, now for something completely different. My world's all about real drums, real guitars, real basses, if I can, real strings, real brass, real horns, that sort of thing. But quite frankly, most of the projects I work on, there just isn't the budget for an orchestral session. Wouldn't we like it? Now, I'm not a professional arranger, that's not my world, that's not what I do. So I haven't forked out for the full East-West libraries or the Vienna Ensemble Pro full, hundreds of gigabytes of samples. It's not what I do, I don't have any need for it. However, occasionally I think, do you know what, this could do with some real brass, real horns, real woodwind, real strings. And I think, do you know what, I'd really like to have that in my arsenal. And it turns out that you actually can get really, really close and really good results for no money at all. Enter stage left, Spitfire Audio, and the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover package. Now, first things first, orchestral libraries are normally enormous. The download for Discover is 240 megabytes. That's nothing in today's world. You get 34 instruments, 47 techniques, so that's everything from violins, 1 and 2, violas, cello, basses, all the normal woodwind, all the normal brass, and percussion. There's even a piano, but quite frankly, I'm not that enamoured with a piano. So this session started off as a kind of synth-led kind of pop track, and I've replaced the 808 drums with real drums and put some extra basses in and real guitars and stuff like that. But the synths then didn't really match up. So I thought I'll swap some of those synth patches out for real sounds, for real samples. And quite frankly, it's been brilliant. So what I'd like to do is just talk you through some of the changes I made and let you see and hear how this thing now sounds. Let's start with the pads, or what I've now swapped them for, strings. So here is the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover GUI, and it's very simple. You can take a tour of the orchestra, see what's going on where. And what's also brilliant is that because these come out as a stereo channel in your DAW, all the panning's done for you. It's all automatically panned, so it's going to come from where it would if it was a real orchestra, which is great. One less thing to worry about. So let's have a listen to the strings. I've got the string patch set up. Now, theoretically, what I could do is separate these chords out into the 4 individual string parts. I'm not going to do that because it's just a cluster chord and it just sounds quite nice and paddy. So let's have a playback on that. Now I've got 4 different styles of playback if I want to use it. Long, staccato, pizzicato, tremolo, but I like long. I've then got control of the reverb, the dynamics, and the level. But quite frankly, it's a pop track. I'm going to do the mixing bit in Pro Tools. Now, these were all recorded at the BBC Maida Vale Studios in London, which is a fantastic sounding room. But of course, this is the light version of the library, and you can upgrade to the full version if you wish to for actual money. And then you get control of all the room mics and all that sort of stuff. We are slightly limited on the tone and the reverb tails, the reverb times, things like that. But actually, for free, who cares? In the track, it sounds absolutely spot on.
Take what you want, take what you need, only when you're driven by your...
Sounding really, really nice. Now, one of the main features of the chorus is the brass section, and I've separated out trumpets, trombones, bass trombone, and actually this is tuba. And if I play those back together, they're all set pretty much the same. They're all set on their kind of staccatissimo, sort of nice hard attack. which is great. I mean, it's a big sound. There's a lot of reverb on there, and I'd like to be able to pull some of that back. But hey, that's one of the limitations of using a piece of free software. But in context, it sounds awesome.
Take what you want, take what you need. Only when you're driven by revenge. Change how you think, change who you are. Only when you're driven by revenge.
So, top tip time. Let's not get into the physics of it, but think of the way a violin or a string instrument works. They're always slightly late, so pull them back a few ticks in your arrangements. Horns, brass, anything where it's all to do with this thing, push them on a tiny bit and they'll feel a bit more real. Rather than having them perfectly on the grid, brass push forward, strings pull back. General rule. Let's dive into the percussive stuff, and this for me is where this really shines. Now, obviously, I am a hitter of things by nature, so I'm a bit more picky when it comes to percussion, stuff like that. But I think this thing sounds lovely. I've got the Glock set up, the Glockenspiel, if you will. I think that's there, yep. And again, it's in the percussion section, so nicely at the back, tune percussion. Have a listen to this on its own, and then in context. Now, of course, in context, it sounds very different, but have a listen to this as well, because the articulation is really nice, if you can articulate on a glockenspiel. It adds just a really nice top-end sort of shine to the track. Let's play from here.
Ready to be served. Pay back the crime. Two wrongs will make it right. This unfinished business will end in a way that's so self-satisfied. Through all of the rage, nothing will come, nothing will change. The damage is already done. Take what you want, take what you need. Only when you're driven by revenge.
Finally, later on in the track, when we get to the final chorus, we've got some more kind of textural stuff going on. There's some high strings entering, and there's an oboe part. Let's have a listen to that, because this sounds really nice. And to go along with that, there's some strings. Now, yes, I would like to be able to turn the reverb down on some of those tracks, but that's why you upgrade to the full version. I'm not going to do that. I don't do enough work that requires orchestral sounds or orchestral libraries. You know, often I'm out recording real orchestras in real halls. But for a pop track like this, where we really don't have the budget, the time, or the energy, this is absolutely fantastic. It's tiny, it's 240 megabytes, it's a really quick download, it's really easy to use, there's very little to set up. It's absolutely fantastic. And did I mention it's free? So I really hope you enjoyed that. This video has not been endorsed by Spitfire Audio. They don't even know I'm doing it. So hope you enjoyed that. Please do check the link down there in the notes below. Please also, if you would, please like, subscribe, do all the normal stuff. It really does help. But for now, my name's James Ivey from TSR Jivey Talks Tech, and I'll see you again very soon.